All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to DQ Rooted Youth Ministry, the show that covers today's issues and topics concerning our youth and the world that they're living in. I'm your host, Pastor Jared, and our guests today in this episode are three of our youth members from First Baptist Church of Queen with Aubrye Gilmore. We have Caleb Herwick, and just Johnny on the spot, Landon Wise. Hi. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
And by the way, when you have the microphones, you need to put it up to your mouth. It's going to be really hard for them to hear. Okay. Well, maybe not. I don't know. In today's episode, we'll be getting to know who Aubrye and Caleb and Landon are. We'll be hearing about Aubrye's testimony, as well as Caleb and Landon's experience in our youth ministry here. And we'll be speaking not only about those things, but past experiences and what is to come. So thank you for joining us, and let's get started. All right, so I'm Pastor Jared, the associate pastor and youth pastor here at DQ First Baptist Church, hence where the show gets its name, DQ FBC Rooted Youth Ministry. Now, the main objectives here at DQ First Baptist Church with our youth is to lead them to Christ, disciple them, and then send them out to make Christ known. And on today's episode, I'm joined by three of our youth members, and we have Aubrye Gilmore, and I've already introduced Caleb and Landon. So how are you guys doing today?
Good.
You already introduced Aubrye too.
I know, but last time when I was doing this show, I had a little thing where I was talking about the one and only, and I can't remember who I said that to, but it was going to be like the one and only Aubrye Gilmore, and she'd be like, hi. And I was going to be like the man of the hour, Caleb Herwick. But then we drug Landon in here last second, so I didn't have a cool saying for him, so I skipped it. Give me a cool saying and I'll introduce him.
The man, the myth, the legend, Landon Wise.
There you go. There it is. All right. So I want to give you guys a few warm-up questions so we can get used to it, be comfortable. And this always works. Every time I've had people in here, by the time I'm done with these questions, you'll forget that's even sitting there. So you guys ready? And you don't have to take turns. You can just jump on. Whoever wants to answer first can answer it first. If you could be remembered for one thing, what would that be? Remembered for anything.
Jesus.
Okay. You're a follower of Jesus. All right. Nobody else can take that answer, by the way.
Let's go.
Caleb.
Being super good at sports.
Being super good at sports. Michael Jordan will be remembered for being super good at sports. LeBron James won't. Just saying. Who's LeBron James fans in here? Don't lie.
Probably Caleb.
No.
Okay, good. Woo! I was going to kick somebody out. I was going to get back down to 2 real quick. All right, we'll keep moving. So one of them would be, tell me about the 3 most influential people in your life and how they impact your life. Starting with Aubrye.
Okay, number 1 would be probably my Nana, Lynette. She's just like all my life been someone who's never gonna miss church, no matter what it's for. Unless it's for her grandkids, then she'll might miss a Sunday, and she'll still listen online.
Yeah.
But she's like always willing to help anybody, no matter the time of day or whatever the circumstance is. And then I don't know, Jared, you're there.
All right, thank you.
Just
Nobody else can use that answer.
knowing that I could call you anytime and you'd answer.
Yeah.
And probably my mom, because she's been through a lot, but she still has always made sure I had everything I needed and wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
All right, Caleb, 3 and go.
God, Jesus, Holy Spirit.
You know that's 1.
Good answer.
3 and
that
1.
counts?
That's 3 and 1, sure.
Okay.
So you still have 2 more to go.
I'm dead.
All right. That's a good answer, by the way. Now, if you had one more outside of that.
And I can't say you.
You can't say me.
I don't know.
Okay, you can say me. It's okay. Yay. Landon, go.
Probably my mom and my dad.
Okay.
So I look up to them for a lot of stuff. They're probably my brother.
Okay, that's a good one. That's really good. I don't know if my brother would say me, but yeah, that's good. So you don't have a brother, and you don't either have siblings that you look up to.
I have a brother, but
I'm saying, but you look up to.
No.
That's your influence.
No.
A good influence on you.
No.
You would look. I'm not saying you would look up to them in like a
Yeah.
more mature way, which it's hard because I get it. Younger siblings, you don't really look up to them, but when you get older, you could, because if you're really proud of them and they did something amazing, you'd be like, man, I really look up to that. You're saying no, but
No.
They were with the jealous.
I'm just saying. James probably in the
I wouldn't
Bible
say I
probably
was
said thing
jealous.
about Jesus. You know, he was the younger brother, and he eventually said, yeah, I can look up to him. I'm not saying your little brother is going to be Jesus or anything.
No.
All right, another question. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would that be? Anywhere.
Colorado.
Oh, wow. All right.
That's a good one.
I'm not going to lie. It's beautiful there. And the temperatures.
Probably
Yeah.
Montana.
Wait a minute. Before we move on to Montana and your reason, why do you like Colorado? Why would you move there?
I don't know.
There's got to be a certain reason. I mean, you just didn't
I don't know.
randomly say that.
It's pretty. Got good weather. Also, go to sand dunes anytime.
What about the sports teams there?
I don't know.
So you couldn't be a Denver Nuggets fan.
I mean, I don't hate them.
So you could join in on the games?
I
Okay.
guess,
What about the
yeah.
Broncos?
I
Where's
don't
Ty
hate
at? Ty's not in here. You don't hate
Cowboys
them.
will still be my favorite.
So you'd still have rep all your flags with the Cowboys. And are you a Dallas Mavericks fan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're all the Dallas teams then.
Yes.
Okay, you're not the Houston and the San Antonio teams.
No.
What about baseball?
Rangers.
Okay, there we go. I'm just making sure. There's a lot of sports
Yeah.
teams out there. So Colorado, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Aubrey, Montana. Why? I know it's not the sports teams. So
It's because, like, we were looking at going there for, like, vacation. It's just, like, so, like, peaceful there. Like, who do you know lives in Montana?
not a lot of people.
Exactly. It's just so peaceful and, like, there's nobody there.
I've always thought about Wyoming or Montana just because it's beautiful. There's nobody there. And if you want seclusion, you'll get it. But there's a reason there's not very many people there because you're going to be isolated unless you live in one of the bigger cities, which isn't really that big compared to everywhere else. Are you sure you want that isolation?
Yes. 100%.
So you're not a people person.
No,
I don't believe that.
I'm not.
I
Jerry.
just don't believe that.
The reason you see me talk to the people I talk to is because I've known them literally since I was born.
And you're going to have anybody talk to there then because you don't know anybody there.
And I'll be perfectly fine with that.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I mean, I didn't know you were the lone wolf type. I just thought you were like very social, like a social butterfly.
I'm not.
Oh, wow. Okay. Learning stuff. Landon.
Probably the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah. See, nobody said that one yet. Everybody says somewhere in the United States. Even mine's the United States. But still.
What's yours?
Yours is obviously for the Bahamas. It's not sports teams. It's the
Just
location. Yeah.
Peaceful.
It's location. Beautiful weather, peaceful. What if you didn't hardly have any money there? Like you just kind of live off the land. Would you be good in the Bahamas?
Maybe. I like fish.
All right. Wait, that's another question for y'all. If you had to live off the land in those places, would you still live there? As I live off the land, you make your own house. You're secluded, and you're still in that state.
God will make a way.
Okay.
There's a lot of like
For real.
Okay.
hotels and stuff.
I mean, like,
But outside of that, outside of living on your own, that's the places you would be. Me, it's the same, which I have an extra answer. I would live in Alaska, hands down. That's where I've always wanted. I still haven't been there, huh?
There's barely like anybody.
Oh, I know. It
It's
kind of
like-
goes off what Aubrey was saying about being secluded and isolated. I like that. It's beautiful there. Last frontier, all kinds. And I love to hunt. That's one of my favorite things. And there's endless game up there that I haven't even hunted
I
yet.
have a cousin that lives in Alaska.
Everybody knows everybody.
Oh, yeah. They're
I
very
have a
small
cousin that
towns.
lives in Alaska.
A cousin that lives in Alaska.
Mhm.
What's it? He, she,
He,
How old is he?
like, I don't know.
What's his name?
Marcy.
Huh?
Marcy.
Marcy. What's his last name?
Don't ask me that.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
know.
When's the last time you seen Marcy?
This summer.
Oh, wow. So it's not like, so he comes in then.
Yeah, he comes in because,
Okay.
you know my Uncle Albert? It's his son.
Yeah. Okay. So he doesn't have like an Alaskan accent or anything like that. He just lives there. Why?
He does real estate.
Oh, okay. Well, and my other one would be if I lived somewhere else in the United States, it would be a place where Lord of the Rings was shot. Nobody knows this?
I I don't watch
I don't
Lord of
know.
the Rings.
Oh,
New Zealand?
yes, thank you.
Oh, I thought you said in the United States.
No, I said my place outside of the United
Oh, okay.
States. That's not in the United States. It'd be New Zealand. It's beautiful there. I don't know if I'd want to live there, but I want to go there.
I live in Sweden.
Sweden's good. I mean, you got to be really, really rich, but yeah, it's a good place.
I feel like I'd look
like
like an ant.
Free college, but I think their taxes is like 40-something% on every. I mean, it's crazy high.
But I would look like an ant because they're all giants.
Maybe, I don't know. But you'd be different, so everybody would like you. Everybody's really tall.
They'd be.
You know, when
interested
I
in me.
went to Iceland, I'm not kidding. It's like how tall your dad is, how tall you guys are.
And
It's
where?
like Iceland. I
Oh.
went there on my way back. Yeah. On my way back from Iraq, we stopped there for like an hour layover, and we went to the airports and stuff. And the people that were there, they could speak English, but it was so broken I could make out what they're saying, but not really. And I swear they were all at least 4 to 5 inches taller than me. The women were taller than most of us were. Like they were just tall people. It was weird, and they were very stoic. It wasn't like they were nice, but it was weird. It's not like warm, cuddly nice. It's hard to explain. You like? Yes, that's good. You know, it's they're being nice, but it's not how we know nice. It was neat though, something that I enjoyed. Okay, next question. What's your favorite subject in school?
DQTV.
Okay, none of those electives or anything like that. A real, true subject that everyone has to take. Anybody?
Science.
Okay, science has actually been said before previously. I'm just going to why?
Math.
Hold on.
We just do a lot of fun stuff in there.
Okay, who's your science teacher?
Josie Miller.
Okay,
New.
she's new. I feel like I've heard that name.
It's Deanne Watt's daughter.
Okay, that's how I know. Aubrey,
Math.
I heard you. Why math? Because the
Easy
math
to
don't
me.
lie.
It's easy to me.
You know, math. It is what it is. It's not
Exactly.
easy to me. I hate math. But.
There's no 2 + 2 will always be 4.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The math don't lie. Some people love it
Yeah.
because it doesn't change. It's like history. Once you study it and you know it, you've got it. That's how math is. It's something that never changes.
Actually, probably math.
Oh,
I don't like
that side of the
I don't
room.
like science.
Boo, that side of the room.
I like
Boo.
science.
Science.
Science is
Science
just
is like math too.
Boo.
science.
I
is
do
just
like science though.
Science is just it's just there. It's in the middle.
Mine was history. Well, English. If you're going math, English. I was very good at English, like
I'm good at it, I just
90%
don't
higher
like
all
it.
the time. Math, I was average. I just never really liked math. I liked reading, high comprehension and things like that. But math, I just didn't like it. Still don't like doing math unless I have to do it. And I got a cell phone for that. Don't need it. Don't really care for it. Anyways, all right. So we have math and science. Next one. What's your biggest pet peeve? The one thing, the biggest one, not a bunch of them. The one thing
I don't
that
know.
everybody does that you cannot stand, or some people do that you cannot stand. Really? I mean, everybody else shot off like a cannon. I had to slow them down.
I had to think
Bella went crazy. She's got 20 of them.
Yeah.
probably if they do something and then they try to make you seem like a bad person, play the victim.
So you don't like victimhood?
No. I hate it.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Anyone else? And it doesn't have to be a personality trait. It could be anything. What does your siblings do that you cannot stand? Like the one thing when you're at home.
I don't know. It's different things every time.
Okay. All right. Well, never mind then. I can't believe y'all. So y'all don't have any pet peeves. Y'all are super chill. Which I guess so. Y'all don't really get much problem from you two. So I guess so.
Wait, you said you too.
Yeah. Not you, Aubrey. I get problems from you sometimes. You argued with me on the way to Colorado about the seatbelt. I hadn't forgot that yet. I'm not letting that one go.
That's why you're not the favorite.
Yes.
I was a favorite from Colorado all the
From
way
time
to
to
VBS.
time. From time
Am I
to
the
time.
favorite?
No.
All because
It's
I got
Landon.
you a brownie.
No.
Who is?
It's like Landry or something.
No, it moved after that to Brielle. She was the last one. Yep.
It's
It
because
might
she
change
complained that
today.
she never got the favorite.
It was at Progressive Dinner is where she was
No.
complaining.
It was.
It was. I remember telling her, well,
I
okay,
thought
you'll
it-
be the
I
favorite.
thought it was at.
It was at
what's it
Sally's
called?
house right after Ellie planted the door.
That was funny.
Oh,
I
not
thought
the
it was-
door.
I saw it happen.
Did you?
Yes.
her face.
the glass
Oh,
window.
sorry.
You could just see like a smoke.
Yeah, you can see. I took a picture of it. It's still on my cell phone. Sorry, Ellie, if you ever watch this. But I was getting out of the vans, and the girls didn't want the boys to get there first and eat all the snacks and treats. And they were ready to get out. And Aubrey, you were in there, right? Like they got out, and the girls just took off
I was in the
running
very back. I was.
as soon as they got out to beat y'all. And I took my time. As soon as I shut the van door, I heard boom. It sounded like the house shook down. I didn't know
she
what
was running too.
Right, yeah, full speed. I had no idea what that was. And I get up to the door, and everybody's gone. And I see two adults back at the kitchen, and I see Ellie over the sink. I thought, what happened? And then they told me she hit her face on the glass. I felt so bad. And to be honest with you, it healed up a lot faster than I thought it was because, she has braces, and I thought it was going to rip something crazy. But it wasn't as bad as it could have been. As hard as she hit it, she's tough. I don't know. I'd have been all messed up. But anyways, what?
What were you doing?
I was just agreeing with Jared.
Okay.
What's he doing behind my back?
He was just nodding.
That's it? You act like he was back there
he was just
throwing
going like
gang
this.
signs
He
at
was
me. All right.
Throwing gang signs.
I don't know.
Doing
Turn my
gang signs
head.
is crazy.
All right. So we'll go on to the next one. Did everybody get it out? Are we good with pet peeves? Do you got one?
My brother just messes with me too much.
No, that's normal. That's completely normal. Mine's a volume thing. And I'm good. I mean, we get loud and stuff like that. But when I'm at home, if the volume's always up on the TV or like say somebody's cell phone is going full blast, Bella and Amanda's having a conversation.
That's a pet peeve.
Like as loud as I'm having right now, talking to each other, and this is going, TV's going, Sawyer's watching something all at once.
It just
I can have for
messes with my
about
brain.
30 seconds. I can't take it. And I'm just like, turn the volume down. And I'll start turning stuff off. Ooh, what are you doing? Anyways, yeah, that's me. I can't stand just 5 noises at one time all the way. Make it 1 or turn it down. One of the two. Can't take all that. So last question. If you had one meal, this is great. This will be a 2-part question.
For the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life, what would it be? You can only have this one meal to eat.
Well,
That's
a hard
it.
question because you get bored of a meal if you had it every single day.
So it's got to be something you really like, right? So what would it be? Literally, you can only have, when we leave this room, there's only one thing you can eat for the rest of your life. And that's it. And it's got to be smart because if it's something sweets, you're not going to live very long. So it's got to be something halfway decent that you really like. That's not terrible for you.
I remember Bo's was like pizza or something.
Yeah, it was. And he said, because you can put all kinds of toppings on it. And I said, no, only one topping. I can always change toppings and it'll change the pizza. I was like, no, one topping. And then change the whole thing. So, yeah. Go ahead.
Steak, mashed potatoes, and green beans.
That's your one meal you're going to eat. Okay.
With A1 sauce.
All right.
I'll probably have a Aubrye from a Mexican place.
That's the only meal you can have the rest of your life. Okay.
Really
Chick-fil-A.
That's a restaurant.
whole
That's not a meal. What number on the Chick-fil-A menu would you get?
If you want the whole,
No.
restaurant.
A meal.
That's one meal.
The
it's
rest
not.
I'd eat that all in one meal.
They have meals on there,
Okay.
in there. Which one would you get?
The 1 through 10.
Probably just nuggets and fries.
So you'd have
Simple.
nuggets and fries from Chick-fil-A for the rest of your life,
I
and you're
like
good on
Chick-fil-A
that.
chicken.
Simple.
So for your birthday, is that where you go to eat?
I don't know. That's every
I mean,
night.
if it was my birthday, I'm going to steakhouse. That's just
As a
me.
youth group, can we all go to Texas Roadhouse and try to eat as many rolls as we can?
You can if you bring your own
Yeah,
money.
We try to break the record. It's free.
Unless
free.
anybody out there wants to
It's
donate
free.
money to a steakhouse trip for
It's
them.
free.
That's the only way.
It's just like you
The
just
rolls are
eat
free.
rolls. You
no,
just
I'm not
try
going
to
to
break
do
the
that. I'm
you,
not
you
taking
try to
a.
break the record.
I'm
It's
not.
like 96 baskets.
I'm not taking our church group in there to deplete their rolls and make them mad at us.
No,
They won't get mad. It's an actual
it's-
challenge.
Yeah, it's an actual
Like, they
challenge.
For
encourage
one
it.
person or everybody?
The
For
whole group.
everybody, you can bring a whole group. You can bring as many people.
Well, if we're ever in Texarkana for a reason, we might do that. But I'm not going there for that
Yeah,
reason.
they count by how many baskets.
Yes. How many baskets you eat?
Well, what if a group of 100 goes there? Of
Well,
course
that's
they're
a
going to
bit.
win.
it's like a
They wouldn't
limit.
have enough seats, probably.
That's my point. So really, it just depends on the size of the group. I don't like this challenge. Nope, I'm out. All right. So it'd be different if it was like one of those steaks that's so big, only 2 people have ever ate it. Like that, that's a challenge. You know what I mean? I'm in on that.
Do you know how many rolls one person can eat?
But it depends on the group size, though. Yeah, one person, I like that challenge. This man eat 50 rolls. That's awesome. Instead of this group eat 50 rolls.
What
See what I'm saying? How many was in that group? 100 people? Well, that's not impressive. So
No, that's like
that means they ate half of
a
a
roll.
roll each.
that's
I was
what
gonna say
that's
half
my
roll of
point.
peas.
That's my entire point. Is they're going by group size. I don't like that. It's individual competition. That's where it's awesome. Unless you have group of 20. This is what the group of 20 got. This is what the group of 50 got. See what I'm saying? Okay. So, wow, what are we talking about? Oh, favorite meals.
Yeah.
Aubrye, Chick-fil-A, steak, and all your stuff that goes with it. Mine's seafood. That's me. If I could eat anything, yes.
You're gonna have
Like
gout.
what type?
I know. I'm thinking. It changes from time to time.
Crawfish, shrimp.
Oh, I love shrimp. But it's a meal, so I can get whatever I want.
Shrimp, you could like change it from like sauteed, grilled, fried.
You're gonna have gout by the time you're 50.
I would have fried catfish, shrimp, crab with lobster, and one more thing that I get to have would be calamari. There, I'd have all those
Aren't those
things
like
right there. I don't even need
Eggs?
dips for
I
any
was
of
gonna say,
those.
aren't those like fish
So
eggs?
expensive.
I have no dipping sauce. I don't need any of that. I can eat all that plain. Huh?
I was asking what calamari was.
Calamari?
Yeah,
Does anybody know how to explain calamari?
it's fish eggs.
Hmm. I don't think so.
Mm.
Can we Google it?
I eat it all the time, and I don't even really know what it is. I just know it's really good.
It is fish eggs.
Aubrey, look it up.
It's expensive,
All right.
ain't it?
No, I don't know. Maybe. I haven't ate it in years, but I remember I used to eat it all the time when I lived in California. Okay. Well, Aubrey's looking that up. Actually, it's Aubrey's up first.
It's squid.
I knew it wasn't eggs. That's like I was thinking squid or like a octopus legs or something like that. Like it's little.
Squid
Things,
is
yeah.
that's
Oh,
ew.
They're good though. It's good. It's weird, but it's good. And I like the texture. Some
Is
people
it,
don't like
really
the texture.
rubbery?
No. It's like I
Like
can't
it's
explain it. There's
stretchy.
nothing you can compare it to. You have to eat it to know. So if we ever go anywhere and it's on the menu, I'll order it for you. You don't even have to pay for it. You
Nope.
just eat calamari and tell me what you
Mm-mm.
think. Yes.
I'm not,
Oh my gosh.
I'm not eating squid.
Aubrey, do you like seafood?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yes.
Okay.
Then you'll love it.
No.
Okay.
I don't know
I don't.
So we're gonna change gears here. Now that we're done, we've got the questions out. Are you guys settled in? You're good. It's not weird anymore. No, yeah, you are. All right. So Aubrey,
Oh my god.
I think it's got to be in this room more than you guys. So I'm more settled in than y'all are. Aubrey, we're gonna go to you, and you know what I'm gonna ask you about.
Yes.
So Aubrey's gonna give us her testimony. She's been wanting to do this for a while. Was going to do it out on Wednesday night at youth group. Was going to do it the last few episodes back, but she couldn't make it because of basketball practice. Well, this week they're out for their winter break and they go back to school on Monday. So that's the reason she can be here today and everybody's here. So she's going to give us her testimony, 5 to 10 minutes, right? Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after that, we'll go to these guys over here. You don't have to give your testimonies, but she's been wanting to do this for a while. You can if you want to. I mean, I'm all about it, but she's been wanting to do this for a while.
You just have to let me know how much time I have.
I don't. Let me see your cell phone. Actually, I have well, you about to throw that at me? I saw that hand. I was like, oh, hit me in the head as I'm doing this. I forgot. I can look at it on here. All right. So 10 minutes. We're good. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Aubrey.
Okay. So, my life was pretty normal until I was 6. When I was 6, my mom, her best friend, he was arm robbed and they killed him. And then my mom started taking opioids. And so after that, she hid it for a little bit, but it started getting rough. We started moving houses a lot. And then one Sunday, we used to go to church every single Sunday, and then we just stopped going. And then one Sunday, she told me, she said, I'm going to your grandma's because my Nana, they cook every Sunday. They used to cook every Sunday. She said, I'm going to get something to eat. And I was sick, so I stayed home. And I'm 8. So, our neighbors that live across from us, we lived on a, on a second level. And there was a balcony that went straight across. So our neighbors, they were apparently drug dealers, and they got raided. And for an 8-year-old, that's really scary. So I opened the door, and it was the DeQueen police, and everybody knew my grandma and everything. So I just opened the door, and I said, hey, can someone call my Nana to come get me? And they said, go back in the house. And they shut it. And Bradshaw, he called my Nana, and she came and got me. And then my mom, when she finally got back, I don't know where she had went, but when she finally got back, the police were still there, and they just, like, took her to jail. Like, they just took her out the car. They left the car still running, the doors still open and everything when we went back to get me some clothes. So then after that, my mom, it was like she would go in and out of jail for, like, 2 more years after that. Then when I was 10, she went to jail, and it was, like, the final straw. And she ended up getting, like, 80-something years in prison. So I moved in with my Nana, and I've been with her ever since. But my mom, in 2020, she was in jail for 2 years, and then she went to prison in 2018, and then in 2020 she got out. And, like, a week after she got out, she got in a car wreck and broke her arm. So that was kind of crazy. But, like, the whole time that my mom was in prison, I was just, like, really angry with God, because I was like, why, God, like, after how hard my Nana, like, is a servant to you, why would you do this? And then, let's see, when she got out in 2020, my life started getting better, and, like, I was getting more, like, into church, and we would go to church we went to church and everything. And then in 2021, we got Jared.
Mm-hmm.
Like, up until that point, we really didn't have a youth pastor, but we had, like, Micah. He just kind of always did, like, he just always did it, and Davida. Well, when Davida passed, it was like we didn't really have anything going for any youth or any kids. So then Jared came, and youth became the best thing ever. It's like my favorite place to come every week.
It's mine too. It really is. I'm not kidding.
And so after that, and then, like, I was doing good, and, like, I was doing good, and then at the end of last year, my 9th grade year, I started, like, I wasn't doing anything bad myself, but I was hanging out with bad people. Like, I wasn't hanging out with people that were doing, like, good things. And so over the summer, we went to mission trip. And then after mission trip, we had VBS. And, I kept feeling in my heart, like, God was like, Aubrey, this isn't right. It turned back to me. And then church camp.
What was the theme of church camp this year?
It was,
That's it.
Are you willing?
Cutting ties that bind, or cutting the ties?
Yeah, I know it's cutting ties. And then on the Wednesday, the pastor, he did a sermon over, do you really even like Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you say you love him and stuff, and you can love him all you want, but do you like him? Like, do you act like, do you do your actions so that you like him, that you want to be like him? And that was a really hard sermon for me, and it really, like, hit hard. And I spent, like, the next 2 hours after that crying my eyes out. And Jared asked me, he was like, what's wrong? And I didn't want to tell him. Like, I couldn't figure out how to tell my youth pastor that I didn't feel like I was really saved. So then I battled with it for, like, another 2 months. And then September 27th at Fields of Faith, I finally, like, I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I talked to Jared, and then I turned my life back to God. And then, like, that weekend, like, the next Sunday, I got baptized. And then I've been doing good ever since. It's still hard, but, like, it's not as hard as it was. And, yeah.
Because you dug your feet in the sand and said, I'm done. And you're going to mess up. We're all going to mess up. I'm going to mess up. Everybody in this room is going to mess up. But it's what you do about it. And it's like you said, you knew you were hanging around those friends that you knew weren't good, that they were being a bad influence on you, and there's not really much you can do to influence them in a good way. So you knew you had to separate yourself from them. And I think it hit that turning point of, what am I about to do? And you pretty much told me that you were done with it. You recommitted your life to the Lord, and I mean, I can see a difference. It's crazy, because I've been around you guys so much in the last 2.5 years. I mean, I am, 3 times a week, especially during the school year. Like, I'll see you guys on Sunday, on Wednesday at ball games, and we text each other on our group text on and off, and sometimes nonstop. So it's just
dumb on there.
Do what?
We're so dumb.
I know.
Wait for my daily text from Reagan.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just, we've been around each other so much that when something is going on with you guys, when I can see the change, and I usually know it's either the friends they're hanging out with or something at home. And out of those two, normally I can figure out which one it is before you even tell me. I can just tell. I can see it in your demeanor and how you act, that something's off, something's not right. And 9 times out of 10 at your age, it's something to do with friends or at school or something like that. And if it's a family issue, I usually know it pretty fast. But if it's not, I usually figure it out within a month that it's your friends. And pretty quick after that, people tell me, so this is happening to so-and-so. And by then I've already figured it out. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I figured that was going on. And then I'm just waiting for them to come to me and tell me what's going on. Like with you, I could tell something was different, something had changed. I didn't know what it was. And when you'd come to me at youth camp, and then it all started to make sense. And then when you came at Fields of Faith, then it just like the other shoe hit the floor. And I knew. I was like, that's what it is. And that's what I kind of had an idea. And I've seen a difference ever since then. And it's with the other guys doing the same thing. I can just tell when people are struggling with stuff. And once you really get to know a group, you can start to get a feel for personalities and what's going on and the ebbs and flows of that. And it's neat. I mean, I love it. And that's the part of being a family, like the actual body of Christ. Like we are a family and everybody's different. And I'm going to be teaching on that tonight. His traits, personality, strengths are way different than mine. Mine are way different than yours. Yours are way different than hers. And none of that's a bad thing whatsoever. With me, that's my phone. With me, I think of it this way. If all of our limbs were legs, we'd be able to go anywhere we wanted, but not much would get done. And the vice versa. If all we had was arms and no legs, we wouldn't go very far, but we'd only be able to do what's pretty close around us. So, but the right combination, I can go wherever I want to go and I can do a lot of things while I'm doing it. And I think that's like the body of Christ, where everybody's got their strengths and together so much gets accomplished. And when people don't do the things that God's gifted them with, it's really taken away from us as a group and things like that. And I don't know how I got on that tangent, but I noticed it. I can tell when people are having issues and things like that. And it's because I've been around you guys so long. And when Aubrye had came up to me at Fields of Faith, like you say, I knew because I could feel it. I could feel it in her heart that she meant it. And then when you got baptized, I just knew. It's like one of those things. It's the Holy Spirit inside of me and you, and and I know and you know, and it's an awesome feeling, and I love it. Do you guys have anything? Because I'm going to start asking questions if you don't to say about that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Aubrye. I really do appreciate that. I know you've been wanting to talk about it for a while, and I'm glad we could do it here. And if we'd done it on Wednesday night, there'd been 40, 50 people listening, but now there might be 100, 200, 300. But either way, it's all good. But thank you for that. And since we're talking about that, we're talking about us as a group. We're going to be talking about the past 2 years here as a youth group. And there's been moments that we've had in the last 2 years that stick out in my mind, for sure, without a doubt. Some of them are awesome, and I mean, I'll always remember it, and some of them are not so awesome, and I'll always remember it. That's one of them. That's one of them. And I'm not going to talk about that at all, but yes, that's there.
I mean, that was awesome at the same time.
Yeah, because
at the same time, yeah.
They got saved.
Yeah. But Dave, I hate even saying that. after the good thing happened, that happened. So yeah, that was afterwards. But out of 2 years, and you don't have to just narrow it down to one. You can, whatever comes to your mind, as it comes to your mind, the moments that stuck out in the last 2 years, what are some of those things? Because I may have forgotten some of them, and you guys can remind me. I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. What sticks out in your mind is something that's hilarious, something that was really bad, something that was great, something that was terrible. It doesn't matter. It can be either extreme.
The fight in our cabin.
Oh, yeah. No names,
but
yeah.
That was funny.
Someone just got picked up to the ground.
Just body slammed.
And then the other one went after that one, and I jumped in between them before it could get out of hand, and then it was over. what happens there stays there. But yeah, that happened. That's
It
that's
did
what.
not stay there. Like, everyone knows about it now.
Yeah,
Probably just the mission trip overall.
that's what sticks out in your mind.
Yeah, and D now like this past one with
Mhm.
Michael, and then the one before that was good too. But especially the mission trip, just like, because what stuck out to me on the mission trip was when we went to the kids center and like
Oh yeah.
all those kids,
Yeah.
and then this one little girl, her name was Anna. I'll never forget how she like told me that like she doesn't have that many friends there, and then when she goes home, she has like 7 other siblings.
Mhm.
And she's like in the middle, so she kind of gets forgotten. And she was just so happy that people were coming and they wanted to play with her.
Yeah, I remember her too. You guys were fantastic with those kids. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When we went to the kids, I thought there's like 2 of them that are going to be really good with these kids, and the rest of them are just going to be standing there like this, getting climbed on. That's what I thought was going to
Who were the
happen.
two you thought were going to be good?
Brielle, I thought would be good with them, and I thought Aubrey would be pretty good with them. And that's it. I didn't know how Bella was going to be honest with you. And she was great. She was fantastic. But that's just it. Even the boys were good with them. That's what I was worried about the boys. I was worried about y'all because as I get it. I mean, I'm kind of awkward with little bitty kids unless they're mine. I'm not awkward. I knew the rules they had in place there, and you weren't supposed to pick them up and hug them. Like there were all kinds of rules they had when you went in there. And I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to stand there, and let the ladies play and. With them. But once they got to playing and everything, it was great. They loved it. You guys got in there with them, and I mean, it's just like we were at somebody's house or something. It was no big deal. It was neat, and I was very impressed and proud of you guys for how y'all were with them, and they did not want us to leave. I remember at the playground after we'd walked them across the street.
Yes.
They were.
Didn't you get stuck, Caleb?
Yeah, they were chasing me.
Oh, that's
They wouldn't
right.
let me
Yeah.
leave.
They were chasing
Yeah.
Caleb.
One
They
of
were-
them was trying to lick me.
Because I kept pointing at Caleb. We were all ready, and I pointed over, and they were like grabbing onto. I see Caleb going around the monkey bars and everything else. But yeah, that was good. That was really good.
I thought it was funny when church camp, the kids tried to break into our cabin.
Oh yeah.
We had to put the bunk bed.
Yes, I told
It wasn't
Josh.
funny at the time.
It was.
It
It was for me because I wasn't that worried
Yeah.
about it. But you remember how we had the bar up against the post, the main beam inside that was pushing up against the door with the bunk bed.
Yeah.
So they thought somebody was back there holding it, but no matter what they did, they couldn't come in at that point. I was showing Josh because he wasn't there the first year I went with y'all. The second year he was with us the whole time. And I was telling him about how they break in the back door and try and steal stuff because I had my laptops and everything else in there. And they didn't try and steal stuff, but you just never know. But I knew they were trying to break in for fun. And that's why they did away with the stealing the flags and stuff because that was a lot of the reason why. But I told him about that, and I told him about the bar, how we set it up, and he said, "So you think we need to put the bunk over there?" I was like, "Let's just wait," and we might have to, but it never came to that. Nobody ever tried to even come in. But I was in there quite a bit, and last time they would sneak in, they didn't know I was back there. Remember? And I'd see, I was like, "What are you doing?"
You had like a knife too. You had like a knife.
No, I didn't have a knife.
You had
We had like
something.
a bar or something.
It was something. I remember I had it because I would.
Just, like, hold it.
Yeah, I was looking at him when I said, "What are you doing?" I'd yell at him. I was sitting here, boom, 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 and then slam the door. About the third time they quit. They quit coming in there because I was like, ah.
The first year we ever went, it was just Caleb's mom that took us. She took like
Yeah.
14 of us. And it was just
There was
her,
no boy
it
sponsors.
was
So we were
just
with a different.
her by herself, and somebody stole a flag like at the beginning of the week, and it did not get found. It has still never been found to this day. Nobody knows where it was.
It was
That's
hidden
very
up in the
strange.
mountain.
It
like
was
where
hidden in the mountain. Like some kids took it and
Yeah.
they went and hid it up in the mountains,
But then they
and then
couldn't
they
find
forgot
it.
where they hid it.
Oh, so they know where it's at, but they can't find
It's
it.
like up by where the zip line was.
Yeah, yeah.
So a team, they just had like you just see a random stick just waving in the air.
You'll know that hey, that's
Yeah.
the long lost flag. By now, I'm sure it's tattered and you can't even tell what it is. But yeah. Is there anything else? I know there's a lot of stuff. If there's anything else, go ahead and you can name it. It's fine. Because I have mine that I think of.
Oh, not L. Dave.
That's one of them. That's definitely one of them. But I think of Colorado when we're stopping at the state signs. Not at Colorado, but on the way there, like New
Yeah.
Mexico, Colorado, when we get to those different ones and we'd all get up by the signs. I think of that. I think of like D-Nows, like when Michael came down and the special moments we had like that. And I think of Wednesday nights, some of the Wednesday nights we've had in the past where it wasn't even, I didn't think would be special. And then like 6 people would get saved and it would turn into like a really cool Wednesday night. Like it just blew my mind. And it's God, because it's nothing that I was just there to teach a lesson about something. I don't remember what it was a year ago. And that's when Courtney and Mason and all those guys came up and got saved. And it wasn't like your normal fire and brimstone, hellfire message. It was just about the world and how if you're either with God or you're against him. You know, if you're a friend of the world, you're in enmity with God. And I preached out of that. And I remember the punchline I had, because it wasn't in my notes, it just hit me. It's like, you may think that I'm not against God, nothing against him, but I'm just not going to go there yet. Like there might be a God, but either way, I'm not his enemy. There's no way. And then once I pointed out, like, yes, you are. You're either with God or you're against him, and you're working against him, meaning you're working for the enemy. Once that set in, you could see it. I could see it land, and that was it. And that's it. And I knew they didn't want to be opposed to him in that way, so they gave their life to God. And they said, I'd rather be on his side. And that was awesome. That was fantastic. It's things like that, and it's like little moments that I really take in, and I don't take them for granted. Is there anything else? No? Going once? Going twice? Okay. So the next question, how much time do we have?
Hey, Jared, remember at church camp when you got dunked on?
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and say this, and I'm not lying when I say this. I don't really defend myself because I'm like, yeah, I got dunked on. I just let it happen. And this is the honest truth. When he went up beside me, I had 2 options. I can go up with him and try to block him, make him. I mean, he's still a teenager. And I'm thinking, here I am. I was 37 at the time, of youth pastor. And I thought, why? And honestly, I thought, why am I going to go up with this guy? So what I did was I ran with him, and when he went up, I thought, yep, here it comes. I didn't even jump. I instinctively about did, and I stopped. Why do you think when I looked up, I did this, and I watched him, and sure enough, he was over the top of me, and he dunked it. But my feet never left the ground. That's the part y'all don't remember. Y'all just remember running with him and then him dunking over me, but my feet never left the ground. I let him dunk it. I was going to let him do the layup, to be honest with you. I thought he was just going to do a layup, and I was going to let him, and he didn't land on me because I backed away. And as he went up, I kind of side shifted him, and then he just throws it down. I didn't know that was going to happen. I thought, oh, great. Sure enough, everybody, ooh, because I'm underneath there, you know, after he hangs on it and throws his feet in my face and everything else. Okay. And then they said, oh, you got dunked on. And for 2 years, I'm like, yeah. But now, to set the record straight, I wish somebody videotaped it. You'd see what I'm talking about. My feet never left the ground, and I even did a little sideways to let him go up, thinking he was going to do a layup, and then he tomahawks it right over the top of me. So there it is, once and for all.
You still got dunked on?
Yes, technically I did, but it's because I let it happen, okay? I let him dunk on me. So I didn't really get dunked on. I got dunked around. I don't know how you would define that. But anyways, I don't want to end it on that one. I don't want to end it on that one.
Sure, buddy.
I think our youth camp, I think of gainers. I've never been able to do a gainer my entire life. I've been able to do 1.5 dives, backflips, you name it. You guys have seen me. I can do almost everything off that high dive. I cannot do a gainer. Something about doing a backflip going forward, I could never make my body do it. It's weird. It's very hard. It's very strange. And then I finally did it because I saw Jake do it for the first time, and I thought, if he can do it, I got to be able to do this, because he couldn't even do it a 1.5 before we started that week long. And by Wednesday, we had, oh man, that makes me think. And you guys will remember this. By the way, I did the gainer. Woohoo, it's great. So the belly flop.
Yeah.
You guys remember that? What's that guy's name at the very end?
Chief Keef.
Oh my goodness gracious. That's what they call him. I don't know what his name is. This guy, all right, they were doing belly. I don't know how it started. We was kind of agging people on like to belly flop. And so a few of the younger ones did it to impress everybody. And everybody in the pool goes, ooh. Well, then more of them started going, and they would jump pretty good ways up there. I mean, it hurt. And then we started rating it like 10, 9. Yeah. And before you know it, there's a line of guys waiting to do these belly flops. Yes. And it's dangerous. I almost left. It got so bad. It hurt me watching them. And at the very, very end, it ended on this one. This guy.
He went so high.
It was amazing.
So many spins and stuff.
It was no, he didn't spin, did he?
He didn't.
He didn't. This is the last guy to go. And I know he went boom, boom. And I thought, no way there's no way he's going to bail out. I know he's going to bail out. And I gave this guy a hard time all week because he was the one trying to break in sometimes. And I was like, oh, he's just a wuss. Like, he's just all talk. When I saw him do this, I promise, I was like, all right, guys, he's good. He's legit, whatever you guys want to call it. Sky high, touched the clouds. I'm thinking he's going to bail out. He's going to tuck the last minute. Yeah. Smack! Oh, it was the worst.
It was the worst and loudest.
And this guy's little. Like, he's not that big. I mean, he wasn't a big dude.
He wasn't tall.
He wasn't tall, and he was just a skinnier, ripped and skinny, I guess what you'd call it.
Do the backflip during the gritty competition.
Oh my!
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, and then you had to go after.
Yeah, I had to. There was nothing I could do. Like
you were right after
it.
it.
Was like,
there was a contest where they were who did the best gritty in front of 600 people, and Aubrye was in line, and there was this guy. It was his turn. He goes, and he's doing it, and all of a sudden he does this perfect backflip on the ground, lands it perfect. And then walks away, and then here comes Aubrye. She's next in line. It looked good, but there was nothing. There was no backflips or
Someone took a video of it.
It was me. I got it.
It was you.
Yeah, I had the video of it. I can probably plug that video into this podcast where it'll show it, and then it'll come back to this. I'll do it. All right, I will. Oh
but
man,
you get to flip.
I could plug all kinds of videos like Caden eating the worm.
Yeah,
I could plug that too.
Also,
it's a green screen. I could put it on this behind us.
Also,
I'm kidding. I'm gonna start testing all this stuff out.
Did you put all that dirt on Bo?
Huh?
Oh yeah, I did.
The potato?
Oh,
she was
yeah.
like, "Let me get a video, guys."
I threw grass on him.
It was a big pile of grass. I don't know how much dirt was in it, but
yeah.
All right. So moving on from memories, we've talked about being in the group and how it's changed, and I'm gonna ask a few more questions. So we really do got to go. It's almost 5:30. When you are around other people your age and in your grade or around your grade who are not into church stuff, like they're not Christians, you know by the way they speak that if they do go to church, you would never know it in a million years. Like you wouldn't even believe them if they told you that. Those kids, and they don't have any noticeable relationship with God. When you're around that, how does that make you feel? Like when they're close to you, like, and they know you, like, hey, Caleb, hey, Landon, Aubrye, and they're talking with you, and then I know you're going to be in that situation because I know how schools are nowadays. When you're in that situation, do you feel like you got to not cuss and stuff, but still be friendly? Does it make you feel awkward? Do you walk away? Do you stay and be friends and just not cuss? Do you actually kind of do what they do? How do you do that? Like, what do you guys do when you're in those situations? How does it make you feel? That's what I really want to know.
Like, what do you mean? Like, because there's a girl in my engineering class, and she's agnostic, like, and she's told me that.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm still, like, we're still friends, like, you know?
Yeah.
I just try to be nice to them and, like, keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, I don't, like, go into great, like,
deep
conversation with them, but, like, I still talk to them like they're a normal person.
But I'll do that and be friends with them, but I won't go hang out with them. Or something.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
it's like just like they're like a school, like that's a school friend.
Right, I got you. It's not your close circle of 3 to 4 friends that you're ride or die friends. Yeah. But how's it make you feel when you're not in your group and there's a group of 3 to 4 to 5 guys, girls or guys and girls, and you just happen to be in there with them and they're doing, talking about stuff they shouldn't be talking about, or, you just feel, how do you feel when you're around that?
I feel awkward and just stay quiet.
Awkward. I just stay quiet, or I'll just walk away.
So y'all don't join in but not cuss? You see what I'm saying? You can join in without being bad.
Yeah,
or do you just kind of distance yourself?
I just distance myself.
Okay. That's the way as an adult, and used to, I wouldn't distance myself. I wouldn't say the stuff they're saying, but I would still conversate with them and things like that. Now it's got to the point where I feel awkward. It makes me feel weird and backwards, like I shouldn't be around this. And it helps being a pastor full time because I'm not around them. I'm not subject to that very much. My mom and dad's house, they're very straight edge, they're good Christian men and women, don't drink, smoke, nothing. So I'm not really put in those environments anymore. But if I ever do get around it, I'm not scared or anything. It's just, it's hard to explain.
Like, out of place.
Yeah. But I want them to know. That's just part of me. Like, I want them to feel the way I feel because of what I believe in, because of Scripture and what I read. And it's like I want them to know, like how you guys feel when you're about tonight. You're ready. You want to get in there and worship, and me to get up there and teach you guys, like, and you get excited about that. I want them to want that, to have that, to understand that feeling. Because that's something I can't really describe, but you know what I'm talking about. All you guys know what I'm talking about. I want them to understand that what's the word I'm looking for? It's unsaid but understood. I don't really have to say it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And I want that for them. And all we can do is tell them and invite them. And it's a hard thing to do when there's a bunch of them and only one of you. That's why I always tell you guys there's strength in numbers to stay together, because when there's you guys are together in the school system or around at a game, football game, basketball game, if you're not doing it, y'all aren't doing any of that stuff, but you're still having a good time. You can have youth camp's a prime example of that. You can have a fantastic time and not do bad stuff. And when they get over there, they know that, and they're less likely to even cuss, really, because they're in that environment, and you don't have to worry about being peer pressured into it because you got all these friends. It's like me. If I got 3 or 4 men that are my age that are Christian, maybe even pastors or other, do the same things I do, there's no pressure there. I don't have to worry about feeling awkward or weird or having to be an example, which we're always supposed to be an example. But you see what I'm saying? You can just be you around your Christian brothers and sisters and just have fun. That's why I say there's strength in numbers, because then it makes them feel out of place when they start doing that stuff, instead of vice versa, where you're the one that feels out of place. And I think that just flips the whole script on everything, where the majority should be how we act, as opposed to those being the majority and us being in their arena, their environment. They should be in ours. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Anybody have anything on that? No. Okay, I'm going to skip quite a few of these questions, which we answered a lot of them in here. And I'm just going to ask these last 2 things and we'll be done. So what do you look forward to, or what do you look forward to most moving forward? Like before you graduate, before you guys graduate, before you're 18, what's something you look forward to happening in the youth group in the next couple of years before you leave?
Mission trip.
Yeah.
Like we're going to New Orleans? Y'all excited about that?
Yeah.
What do you look forward to?
It's just getting a little bit bigger.
Yeah, the youth group
Because it
growing.
was big, and then everybody started leaving.
Well, that happens.
And then a lot of churches in the summer, they'll close.
Yes.
And then they come, Church of Christ, they close, so most of their kids come here, and then they'll go back once school starts.
Well, in that summer slump, a lot of kids go on vacations and stuff. I know it's in summertime on Wednesday nights. We would go during the school year, we'll run 40 to 50, and then when we get in the summertime, it'll drop down to 20, 10. Yeah. I mean, it's very, but I still do it.
Just
Four
of you guys, yeah.
Yeah,
Who was it? Your grandpa that was in there? Yeah, that was cool having him in there. I like that. That was neat. That's the man. That's where it's at. But yeah, it's normal. It happens. But I don't let it discourage me. That's one thing I've learned. I don't measure success in numbers. I measure success in spiritual growth. And I know that's not a platitude or something that I just say just to be saying it. It's the honest truth. Because when I see people wanting to get up and actually sing, or like Michael or the first D now, when Eric would ask who wants to come up here and sing, and just you got to fight people back because everybody's wanting to get up there and sing. Yeah. I mean, everybody wants to be on the microphone. Everybody wants to do. That's awesome. I love that. I look forward to that and just seeing that growth. And I'd rather have 10 students that were like that want to go and serve. They want to be a part of what we're doing, and they're all in, as opposed to 100 of them that come in here and look at their cell phones the entire time, don't get nothing out of it, and they go party on the weekends. I'm not kidding. I'd rather give me 10 than give me 100 when it comes to truly being down for what we're supposed to be doing as Christians, instead of the fake stuff. I'm just here because mom and dad made me, or I'm here because my girlfriend's here, or my boyfriend's here, or I'm here because my best friend comes here, but I don't really care about what's going on. And I'm glad. I'd rather them be here for that reason than not be here at all. But eventually, there's got to be something that latches on that's more than that surface level relational stuff with y'all, where it's more about being here for Christ. I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we do what we do. And it's great. We have fun. We have a ton of fun. But we all center everything around the gospel. That's what we do everything around. We don't just sprinkle it in there with what we're doing. That's what we're supposed to be focused around. Last thing. Oh, I already asked you guys that. What it's going to look like in the next 2 years. Anybody else? Well, who? So what happened was the camera got hot. It died. I had to go up there, restart it, make sure we were synced up with our noise. That's why they're laughing, because I'm just in here doing this, trying to sync our mics up with the camera. But we're pretty much done. We've been in here for 57 minutes and 43 seconds. So we're going to wrap it up. Is there anything you guys want to say before we're done? Last thing, shout outs, whatever you want. Nobody? Hey, Mom. Nothing? Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. I love you. There, see, I shout out to my parents. Amanda? Mi amor.
You're a nerd.
I know. So nothing? Wow, I just laid my heart out there. Nobody's got anything. All right. Okay, wow. All right, so our next episode, we'll have 2 more youth members on, and you will get to know them just like we did these guys. They'll introduce themselves. They'll tell you guys about their life, what they love about youth group, some of the stories that they have to tell, maybe a testimony. I don't know, but we'll see next time when we come on here. You can support us by subscribing to our podcast channel and on YouTube. So go subscribe, hit the like button so we can get the algorithm just right. Maybe more and more people can get to see our stuff. And you can also follow us on our DeQueen First Baptist Church Facebook page. And our website is www.fbcdequeen.com. Please join us on this journey as we dive deep into youth culture and the trials that come along with being a young Christian, and explore a wide variety of topics from a biblical worldview. Until then, stay strong in the faith. Thanks for listening.
That just looks funny.
I didn't even have to do that.
You have short